Okay, so now that my chicken is done on the inside, this is part 4. Just gonna put these onions in there. Onions. And in that same, it's been reduced to that same 2 tablespoons of oil. No more. Okay, because now I'm going to make some chicken gravy. Its own stuff, and all that stuff at the bottom right there. It's going to be so good for flavor when I pour the water in for the gravy. I'm just going to let these onions get through their little thing real quick. And then I can add the flour, which I'm going to do right now. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make a little hole right here in the middle. I'm going to put some flour in there to make my gravy. And this is how I do it. And I used to live in Alabama, born in Massachusetts. Used to live in Alabama. When I was 8 years old, I saw a lady make gravy. She was an older woman, and boy, when she got done making that gravy, and they had told me to stay, it was actually for breakfast. It's a nice crispy piece of skin. I'm going to put it on top. It's going to stay crispy, and I can take it out and eat it with, you can leave it in, or you can take it out and eat it with hot sauce because it's nice and crispy. So I'm just going to let this oil and this chicken broth absorb this flour and these onions. And you see it's sizzling up, it's making little bubbles. That's what it's supposed to do. And soon it'll be like nice. It'll turn a little brown, crispy. And when it gets crispy, a little, not crispy, but the flour, you want the flour to be done. You don't want your gravy to taste like raw flour. So now I'm scraping the bottom to get the flavor off the bottom of the pan. Okay? Flavor from the chicken that cooked in here in this pan for the last 2 hours on simmer. And the flavor of the sausage that I cooked this morning with the flavor. And I cooked it very, very slowly because, again, it was plain sausage. It was plain, and I had to add seasoning to it. It was unseasoned sausage. Own seasoning to it, and it was delicious. Very, very delicious. With oregano, sage, salt and pepper is what I put in my sausage this morning. My sausage that had no flavor in it. I'm going to move that to the side. Like I said, that's crispy skin. I want it to stay crispy. Okay. Oh, got a little burn right there. You need to be careful because you can get burnt by a couple little pieces that might pop up out of the pan if you're not careful while you're doing this. And as you can see, turning colors. It's changing colors now. Ooh, nice. Turning colors now, and it's going to be delicious. It's going to be real good. This is going to be good. You see that sizzle? That's what you want to see. You want to see that sizzle right there. It's cooking. That's what it's doing. You see, I got all those little bits off the bottom of the pan. And now I'm going to add water. It's going to be good. I think I have about... It's really supposed to be boiling, which means I need to turn my fire up. Okay, it's sizzling over there in the corner. See, that's what it's supposed to be doing. It's supposed to be bubbling like that. Okay. And take off that because that's crunchy, and we like to eat that with hot sauce, the crunchy pieces. Stir that in, and it's going to do, right now it doesn't look like much, but it's going to turn into a nice gravy. Am I going to put it into a blender after? No, I don't have to. For lumps, no. Because when you use a fork, you know, it looks this way. See, it's getting thicker now. And that's how you make gravy. In the same pan with the meat. Okay, now see it's getting a little bit too thick. So now I need to add more water. See. Add more water. Mix it up. Don't worry about what it looks like, because it's a process, and in about a few minutes it's going to look good and taste good. Most important, it's about tasting good. Okay, presentation is great. Sometimes you can have something that looks really, really good, and it could be the most disgusting thing you ever put in your mouth. I'm sorry if the picture's moving around. Of course, I'm holding the camera with my other hand. Alright, that's how that goes. Break that up. It's nice and thick again. Now it's thick again. You see how thick it got now. Cover this. We're going to smother this chicken with gravy. Smother it and just let it now we're going to turn it all the way down on low, because right now it's on high. To get it bubbling up real good. As you can see, that's definitely gravy. It's not too thick, and it's not watery. And when you turn it off, and as it cools, it becomes thicker. So you want it to be movable. Otherwise, if it's thick while it's bubbling, too thick, and then when it cools and it's on your mashed potatoes or your rice, it just like, you know, it'll be like glue or something. You don't want that. Outside, you can hear the baby that lives next door screaming. He's having a good time. That's what you hear. Out the window there, I have my window open, so you can hear a little bit of stuff. Okay. Basically, I think it's a little too thick, so I'm gonna add just a little more water. And personally, a little more salt, just a little bit of salt, just a pinch of salt, because flour is bland. And there it is. Some pieces of the chicken will come off. That only enhances the gravy. And now, alright, I've been cooking since I was 8 years old. I love cooking. I've always loved cooking, and I've always watched only the elder cook because, of course, I didn't want to watch anybody that's my age. I mean, what could they teach me? You know, you can learn some things from young people, but when it comes to cooking and what's going in my mouth and how good it tastes, I prefer to watch someone who's been cooking for many years, decades, you know, and at least a half a century of cooking. And I know I have the best recipes, and I always did have the best recipes in school because I watched the elders, and I did exactly what they taught me. Now, some people like their gravy darker than this. If you want your gravy to be darker brown, just let it cook and dry in the pan with the oil for a few more minutes until it turns dark, like it looks like it's actually burning a little bit. And at that point, that's when you want to put your water in. You can get it as dark as you want or have it as light as you want. If you want it lighter than this, just cook it for a few seconds less than I did. Or take the crumbs out of the bottom of the pan, because actually the crumbs that were at the bottom of this pan from the chicken and the sausage being cooked in the pan is what actually darkened this gravy. Peace, love, and light. Later, I'm going to take this smothered chicken thighs and put them on top of mashed potatoes next to some sweet peas. Peace, love, and light.